Alright, hello everybody. Welcome back, welcome to the last stream of this week. Hope everyone's chat's been doing well. Hello. Today we are going to be continuing the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We are continuing chapter 4. We have just recently triumphed in court, so now we're going back into the investigation. Let me open up some windows here really quickly. I need to change the current game indicator because I forgot. Let me change a couple of windows here. We'll get started really shortly. I didn't have a whole lot of time to do setup, so we're a little scuffed here. Alright, hello. I didn't also do the... hang on. I need to do my... Hang on, I need to add all of my little things here. Alright, I'll do that in a bit. Alright, let's get started. Alright, let's continue here. Twisted Karma and his last bow. Alright. I still can't quite believe what just happened. Yeah, they're back! I know. I inquired with the bailiff after the court session was adjourned, and it seems Mr. Vigil was taken to hospital to recover. Right, he remembered. 10 years ago now, Mr. Vigil attempted to commit suicide by jumping out of the window of the prison governor's office. But ever since then, he's completely blocked the memory of those events from his mind. Nobody knew his secret. Not his family. Not even the man himself. But I forced it out into the open. Was it wrong of me to do that? Did I overstep the mark, I wonder? I think it's... I don't know. Runo! Hello, Iris. It's been very long. Oh, Iris. You're miles away! Anyway, I've brewed a fresh pot of soothing tea for you. Yeah, we definitely need that. Oh, thank you. You and Susie have had an exhausting day so far, haven't you? Aww. Oh. Thank you, Iris. How thoughtful of you. Do you happen to know where Mr. Sholmes is? When we came out of the courtroom back into the defendant's antechamber, he disappeared. Well, he was in the gallery. Or no, he's not allowed in the gallery, I don't think. Oh, no, I don't know. He just suddenly sprang to his feet and left. All he said was, I must leave. I wonder if he's pursuing the mystery of Inspector Gregson's death. Well, you know what Hurley's always saying, don't you? There are mysteries in this world that should perhaps never be solved. Oh. Where the construction of a solution comes only at the expense of the destruction of something else. What does that mean? Yeah, sometimes the truth isn't so nice and clean. He knows very well that when you open someone else's old wounds, you often open your own too. But he just can't take his own advice and leave well alone. Solving mysteries is too important for him. That's so true. Yeah, the guy's a whirlwind. But that's what I like about Hurley, after all. I suppose that's the lot of a great detective in some ways. So then, let's have tea, and then I'll give you a hand. Oh. Do you have time, Iris? Yeah, she's helping us investigate. Yes, I finished this month's manuscript at last, with barely a day to spare before the deadline. Oh, I'm so looking forward to it. A brand new story to read in the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. You know, I always hide Hurley's violin in the days before I have a deadline. You do? Poor Mr. Sholmes. I'm sure that's very wise, Iris. How sensible of you. Now then, my dear fellows, let's make a plan of action before we continue our investigation. Yeah, what are we up to? So we gotta visit. Okay, we gotta visit Mr. Vigil. Alright, let me take a sip of water really quickly. Alright. Oh jeez, this water bottle's not staying closed. Alright, we're probably gonna talk to Vigil, then we're probably gonna talk with Van Zieks, and then I don't know, who else? The Reaper's innocence, Mr. Vigil's condition.
So, how did it go in court this morning?
Well, we still don't know the truth about what really happened, but one thing's increasingly clear. Lord Van Zieks definitely didn't do it.
Oh, goody!
Yes, that's right. We managed to uncover several new facts as well.
Oh, really?
And there was another development too. Kazuma. Yes, it's quite clear now that Kazuma-sama is not himself. Well, that's what revenge does to you. The way he's acting, it's almost as if he's possessed. I know. I mean, at the end of the proceedings earlier, he was like a bloodhound the way he was chasing down Mr. Vigil's forgotten past. He's not normally so mercilessly persistent. Well, he does have to be, because he's the prosecutor, right? What's going on in his head, I wonder? I really need to sit down with Kazuma and try to understand what he's going through. Alright, the Reaper's innocence. We're pretty sure he didn't do it. If Gregson was really murdered the day before his body was discovered, then Lord Van Zieks has to be innocent, you see.
What? The day before? Well, that should be easy enough to work out. Just by examining the corpse, surely.
Well, we don't have it. Yes, you would expect so, but curiously, no time of death was included in the autopsy report.
That is curious.
There are still unanswered questions about Lord Van Zieks, though, aren't there? Ah, do you mean... I mean, what he was doing there on Fresno Street that day in the first place. Well, according to the man's testimony, he said he was investigating Inspector Gregson, didn't he? And it turns out that little room was actually the inspector's secret office.
Ooh, that sounds like it has all the makings of a wonderfully devilish plot.
Well, yeah, we figured out that much pretty quickly. But then why was that notice board in there covered in all those particular papers? Papers about cases with a link to the Reaper. I'm starting to get a bad feeling about all this.
Oh dear.
That sounds more like something horribly devilish. We must start by looking into Inspector Gregson's movements of late. Oh, Gregson's movements! Yeah, what was he up to? I never imagined I might have to be investigating an inspector's movements. Well, according to the entry in his diary, he was carrying out an incognito investigation of the Red-Headed League the day before his death.
Oh, you mean he was doing the same thing as Hurley?
Well, yeah, and he did it with greater effect than what Sholmes was trying to do. Alright. Well, Mr. Sholmes was trying to apply, whereas the inspector was supposed to be investigating. I do wish it had been the other way around. Anyway, as it turns out, the inspector who went to investigate the Red-Headed League that day wasn't actually Gregson at all. It was Mr. Vigil, in possession of Gregson's identification.
You know what that sounds like to me? Establishing an alibi.
Yep, exactly. Oh my, yes, you're absolutely right, Iris. But why would Gregson need an alibi? To conduct his secret dealings in the back room. It would appear that the inspector had something to do with that he wished to keep secret.
I don't believe it. I always thought he was just a harmless lover of fish and chips.
Are you? No, not quite, Iris. But perhaps they were seasoned with something a little more potent than salt and vinegar. I think perhaps we should try to move away from food analogies. No, we were going great! Well, anyway, if Lord Van Zeeks felt the need to investigate Gregson... Yes, I agree. We must try to find out what he knows. Oh, okay. And then, Vigil's condition!
Vigil, you say? Isn't that the name of the lady who came to visit Hurley yesterday?
Sure was! That's right. To ask Mr. Sholmes if he would help her to find her missing husband. Only Mr. Sholmes completely passed the buck to us. Actually, didn't you say that Mr. Vigil had been taken to the hospital? Do you know which one? Ah! It's Saint Sinners. I'm starting to wonder if all the other hospitals in London have closed down. Yeah, there's only one that we go to.
But that's amazing, Runo! You found the lady's husband already!
Well, I suppose I have. By accident. And 10 years ago, while Mr. Vigil was the chief warder at the prison, he was responsible for overseeing the professor's incarceration.
No!
So when the convict escaped, he was held responsible and immediately dismissed.
Oh, sometimes I really don't want to grow up.
Oh! There's more. For 10 years after that, while he was ostensibly working as a peddler, he also had another secret job. He was paid by Gregson to be a stand-in, to impersonate the inspector.
To impersonate Gregsy? But why?
For his secret investigations! I have absolutely no idea.
Oh, Janie was right. I'm starting to think all adults are up to no good now. Including you, Runo.
Huh, I haven't paid anyone to impersonate me! That means he has ties to the professor and to the Inspector Gregson, though. So I do think we ought to pay a visit to Mr. Vigil, don't you? Back to St. Signers, then. Alright.
Well, I think it's clear what we need to do, isn't it? Let us investigate, my dear fellows!
Oh, Iris! You're even more enthusiastic than usual today.
If anyone has anything to hide, my special Wilson shooting iron will soon set them straight.
That water pistol? Yeah, don't you know? Spray bottles are an effective way of getting people to behave.
It's stuffed full of a piping hot extra special blend of mine.
Then I'm quite sure it will be very effective. I better be careful not to hide anything. Well, it feels a little strange that Mr. Sholmes is nowhere to be seen, but still. Let's go and see what we can find out. He's up to something in the back. Alright. Oh, these areas are grayed out. Okay, yeah, let's stop by Stronghearts first, since we do have to go to him. Oh, hello, Kazuma. No arguments, Prosecutor Asogi? Oh, no arguments, Prosecutor Asogi. You will continue with the trial exactly as I instructed. Is that clear? Perfectly. Oh, it's Kazuma-sama! Defying Lord Strongheart by the sound of it. He never did know when to back down. No, I'm sorry, the turning in place. I know that's just how Ace Attorney games are, but it's funny. On your way now, Asogi. My lord. Hi, Kazuma! Hi! Kazuma. Oh, hi, Kazuma. He left without saying a word. Yes? What are you doing here? Oh, well, I was just hoping to ask you a few questions, if you wouldn't mind. I wanted Van Zeek's trial concluded today. But Prosecutor Asogi's unwelcome inquiries are going to make it take longer than necessary. Unwelcome inquiries? As a result, I'm losing even more precious time. Currently 2 hours, 55 minutes, and 41 seconds. 42, 43.
And we must resolve everything before 3 hours have passed, Mr. Naruhodo?
In a miraculous not even 5 minutes? Anyway, I can't let the man's obvious bad mood put me off. I need information. Alright. Let's talk to you, Strongheart. The Reaper. Does Prosecutor Asogi believe that Lord Van Zeeks is the Reaper? I wouldn't know. It was 10 years ago, in that fateful closed trial, that Lord Van Zeeks made a name for himself among the judiciary. But the next trial he fought, he lost. It meant the ringleader of a criminal organization was acquitted, all thanks to the jurors being under duress. But that's awful! The man's freedom was short-lived. He lasted just 3 days.
Yes, let me see. He died in a rock slide at his place of work, I believe.
Correct. That was the inauguration of the Reaper of the Bailey. And people believe Lord Van Zeeks was responsible. Well, duh, yeah. He was brought to trial himself, but it was shown to have been an accident. So he must have a solid alibi then. Nevertheless, the mysterious deaths continued. In total, 16 persons perished in unusual circumstances, ostensibly at the hand of the Reaper. That's a long run of coincidences. But they haven't been able to prove that the guy himself killed him. Well, the Reaper's true identity may well be revealed by this trial. And the impact that revelation would have on the British public cannot be understated. Is that why it's a closed trial? Precisely. Okay. And then closed trial. This country hasn't seen a closed trial for 10 years. So the last one was the professor's? The trial of Genshin Asogi? Correct. Actually, we heard that originally you were going to prosecute that trial yourself, Lord Strongheart. Van Zeeks entreated me to relinquish the prosecution to him, that he might avenge his brother's death. And here we are, 10 years later. The son of the man Van Zeeks had condemned, now looking to avenge his father's death in the same way. They do say that what goes around comes around, except I really don't think Van Zeeks has anything to do with it, you know? However, it would seem that the new young prosecutor is harboring some ulterior motive as well. Kazuma is? I like my organization to run smoothly, in the exact manner that I prescribe. Because you're all about the time you've been saving here. As with the giant clock in here, I won't tolerate a single cog being out of step with the others. Ah, so that's what all these gears are about in here. Did you not notice the giant clock face behind there? If the young man refuses to mesh with the other parts of my great machine, I will be forced to take steps. What do you mean? Prosecute himself, I think. Not something with which you need to concern yourself. In any case, all your questions will be answered tomorrow. Yeah, because we're investigating for the rest of the day. Hello, Domo. Please don't eat my stream. It's not yummy. Now, I shall have to ask you to excuse me. I hope your day's been good, though. Welcome, welcome. As of this moment, I've been delayed from attending my next meeting by precisely 3 hours. Oh my! That is a long time! And I hold you entirely responsible. Oh, even though we miraculously managed to fit everything into not even 5 minutes? Plus you were already late by then. I wonder if you might agree to us, talking with Prosecutor Asogi. Discussions between the defense and the prosecution outside of the courtroom are generally frowned upon. Okay, been okay, I suppose. How about yours? I've been doing okay. Went out to eat, and And then I've just been lazing about. Oh my god, I keep forgetting I need to buy a charger for my phone. Cause, so I have my own office at the place that I work at, but the charger in there is kinda dying. So I need to buy a replacement. Since it's technically for my personal phone, it's not something that would be covered by like the company expense. So I gotta get one for my own purposes. So I gotta buy that after stream. But besides that, yeah, it's been going okay. Went out to eat and then lazed about in my room, even though I probably should have been working on stuff, but it's fine. However, I will make an exception in this case. Now go. You can find him in his office. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, Strongheart. Let's go to see him at once, Mr. Naruhodo. Kazuma's my best friend in the world, but I'm really not at all sure how I know how to talk to him at the moment. Also, I love staring at what is happening in IDV rank. It's just amazing. I only ranked yesterday, so I don't know what's been going on recently. I've been ranking like once a day or once a week. The fact that things got so bad that the devs had to step in and give survivors free points for nearly every match. What is happening? Top survivors have about 30% win rate? What is going on? What do you mean? Top hunters over 90% win rate. Good lord. Something is occurring. But people will whine about the game being survivor-sided. It is definitely not. So why is it that low? What is happening? Also, I just gotta, okay, this is completely unrelated to the game, sorry, but I just gotta say, I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of Qist. Cause I don't know, cause I miss when we had hunters that weren't just chaseability hunters. Like when they showed off Qist, I was like, oh, surely he would be a map control hunter, cause because playing pool is all about, you know, controlling where the balls are. Where all the balls are and making sure that you're in a good advantage to strike. No, he just turns into a ball. Although I haven't watched the video and I haven't really read in depth about it. I only saw I saw the Japanese version, so I didn't really read. I was kind of looking at the gameplay, even though I really should be reading it because I gotta practice my Japanese. But I just saw him turn himself into a ball and then turn survivors into a ball. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that he can also scoop up the survivors and just place them anywhere he wants. By the way, but you know. Recently, Persona Web changes benefit hunters more. The newer hunters in general are stupid, hunters are being made stronger. Overall, playing hunters has been made far easier, and their mistakes aren't punished as hard anymore. Okay. Yeah, cause I played Joseph. I wasn't aware. It took me about a game before I realized that overwhelm doesn't go away if you hit someone else. Like the stacks are permanent. So his attack recovery with 3 stacks of overwhelm and max berserker is ridiculously short. But I wish they made more unique hunters. Besides just chaseability hunter, chaseability hunter, chaseability hunter. Compare that to before season 12. Heck, I was told so by many people. I was one of the best hunters out there and I was struggling. Yeah. I forget what season it was, but I joined right at the end of First Officer's Essence and right at the start of Blood Queen's Essence. So I was around during the time when Blood Queen was ridiculously overpowered. Or not ridiculously overpowered, but she was the de facto best hunter in the game. Besides Blood Queen, or besides Dream Witch, of course. But back then, you definitely had a bit more variety when it came to hunters and whatnot. But now it's, you know. Yeah, good old BQ when her mirror was off cooldown right when spawn again and you couldn't see where the mirror was. Yeah, and also, remember, she was also, like, really fast. Wasn't she, like, the second fastest hunter in the game or something? Under Dream Witch? I don't remember exactly, but she was really fast. And one of the first nerfs they did to her was nerfing her movement speed. Oh, did I? Oops, did I read that? Before clicking off? Whoops, I don't think I did. Yeah, not really sure how I... Okay, no, I did already. New location has been added! Whoops. Individual hospital bed, prosecutor's office. That is Van Zeek's. That is Van Zeek's office. What do you mean his office? Okay. I still hate how when she screws up a mirror, but you're sandwiched between her and the mirror, so all they have to do is just swap places and now you'll get hit anyway. I don't... The thing that's difficult for me with Blood Queen is just that I don't know where the hitbox is. It feels like it's just around her mirror in all directions. Sometimes I get hit, sometimes I don't, and I don't quite know why. It's also sometimes it's just like you're caught in a bad spot, and so either way you're gonna get hit. Either by Blood Queen or the mirror, unless if the Blood Queen whiffs somehow. It's just like I don't have enough experience with Blood Queen in order to kite her well, because back then that was the only thing you banned. So I don't play serve a whole lot nowadays. And the only times I've really needed to kite her is like if I'm playing Gravekeeper and she finds me first. But usually I have shovel, so I can, you know, discourage her from chasing me. But with any other character, it's a little bit of a struggle. I just kind of have to hope that she misplaces her mirror somehow. Alright, let's... Okay, I know you said that we can talk to Osogi, but we should probably go in order. Alright, hello Van Zeeks! Away in the corner, reading! Oh, I forgot Iris was with us! Lord Van Zeeks is reading. Look!
He doesn't seem like he wants visitors, does he?
But he must have noticed that we're here, surely. Hi, Van Zeeks! Hello, welcome! Oh, I heard open then. That's the first thing you say to me, huh? Thanks, Vanzeeks. What do you Nipponese want? That's no way to greet the lawyer who's trying his hardest to prove your innocence, is it? Hi, Vanzeeks. Perhaps not. Hmm? I apologize. So, what can I do for you, Mr. Naruhodo? Wow, that was quick! Lord Vanzeeks! Speaking earnestly! Oh, the fog will lift over London for the first time in months tomorrow! This does feel very, very strange. Well, he acknowledged his mistakes! I must say, I was impressed. Oh, well, thank you. Not by you, by your fellow Nipponese. Your prosecutor friend. Hello, Sogi. Yo, resolve case 4, it's so good. Yeah, we're on the second investigation right now. So we got through the whole trial with what's his face, Mr. Vigil. Now, hello, Pinkville. Hopefully you're doing well. Welcome to stream. Oh, I see. Yes. It's sardonic, don't you think? For a man such as me, so loathing of the Nipponese, to be entirely at the mercy of the two of you. I suppose it's retribution for having played the part of the Reaper all these years. Played the part? Well, yeah, he wasn't intending on being it. Was that a bot? Goodbye, bot. Fare thee well. I really need to set up Seribot at some point. I'm just lazy. I just haven't been able to. Alright. Okay, the Reaper's identity. Yeah, we got bots already. It's only been like, what, 10 minutes? You once told me that you gladly allowed people to believe you were the Reaper, because it helped reduce the amount of serious crime that took place in London. If keeping quiet and playing the part benefits the cause, a cause I myself am committed to pursuing, then why would I choose to say anything? But the henchman of a criminal killed by the Reaper attacked you only the other day. That was just the most recent of many attempts on your life, wasn't it? Vanzeeks is such a well-written character, I'm really enjoying his character. I'm really enjoying all of them, actually. Vanzeeks I really appreciate because we're seeing in real-time character development. Because he actually apologized for being so rude. Yeah, Enoch Drebber I also really like. Man, I think I also think this game has the benefit of being set in 19th century Pushton mark. 19th century, taking place in the 19th century, because the designs are a lot more what's the word? They're like fanciful, but in a way that makes the Victorian, I guess, but like I enjoy it more than I would in like the regular Ace Attorney games, because it's a whole lot of people in suits and casual clothing, but it's a bit more unique in here, which lends into the character design. And also it's the ye olden days. Yeah, I was gonna say it reminds me of Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, but that's also just an Ace Attorney game. Most people, you see, run away when they see a time bomb. True! Enoch Drebber was also a good character. I love Madame Tuspells. Madame Tuspells? Gorgeous lady. I was most certainly distracted by Madame Tuspells. You have played... Yeah, I played Professor Layton versus... Ace Attorney versus Phoenix Wright, because I adore both series. I played most of the Professor Layton games, except for the 3DS ones. because I didn't have a 3DS back in the day, and now I do. So I should probably go back and play them at some point. That's the only game I haven't played. It's good. I enjoy it. There's also like it has the benefit of being a half of a Professor Layton game, so there's half of voice acting, which works well with the trials. Because most of the breakdowns are fully voiced, including Phoenix Wright and Layton. It's a good game. I did enjoy it. Yeah, for Phoenix Wright though, I played the original trilogy. I haven't played Investigations. Have I really only played the original trilogy? No, I've played other Ace Attorney games. Oh god, I haven't played Dual Destinies. Yeah, I haven't played Investigations. I know they just released, like, because, you know, there was only like the English patches and whatnot. Have I played Apollo Justice? I think I haven't. Yeah, I haven't played Dual Destinies and I haven't played Spirit of Justice either. The most because Dual Destinies was available on iOS for a little bit, so I played Chapter 1 of Dual Destinies, and that's it. But Athena is my baby and I love her. But yeah, I have 100% not played Spirit of Justice. So my portfolio with Ace Attorney compared to Professor Layton is quite paltry. Athena's so amazing. I hope AA7 has a lot of Athena if it ever becomes a thing. I hope Athena comes into play more. Cause she's cute and I love her character and I love her little emotion necklace. I love her design too. She's so cute. Someone is clearly profiting from your silence about all this. Someone is using you. I think he knows that, but yeah. Believe me, ever since the Reaper first appeared, I've been doing my utmost to expose him. Or rather, expose the organization. Organization? It's a whole organization? It's inconceivable that all those accidents were orchestrated by one man. Oh, you will love Dual Destinies Case 5? Well, mostly? Ooh, I'll keep an eye out if I ever... Is it on Steam? I could probably get... shit. I don't actually know what Ace Attorney games are on Steam and what aren't. Even if they aren't, I don't think it'd be an issue. But... I will keep that in mind. The entire second trilogy is on Steam. Oh, okay. Every trilogy and duology is on Steam. The only thing that isn't on Steam is the Layton crossover. Oh, gotcha. Okay. If the second trilogy is on Steam, then I might play it whenever I get the money. Hey, that is good to know though. No, the Reaper always appears to have very accurate information about the accused in each case. Which can only mean that somebody at Scotland Yard is involved. Someone had... You can't mean... Oh. I have to assume that Gregson must have been part of it. Gregson was probably part of whatever group was orchestrating these Reaper attacks, and then whoever was above him decided that he was of no more use, and they decided to murk him. I have to assume. Yeah, Gregson, my boy, he was so funny. I'm so sad. Oh my god, I was so sad when Winterbank died. He was such— they introduced him for like 30th, half of a chapter, and he was the best. But yeah, normally with Ace Attorney games, they don't really have characters that you grow attached to die like this. But man, yeah, Winterbanks was a ride. I love the guy. It's taken me many years, but I've finally identified the central figure in this Reaper organization. Tobias Gregson. Oh, they're just straight up saying it. No! Gregson? The Reaper? Yeah, alright. Ace Attorney usually doesn't have character. I forgot. I'm gonna be real. I forgot. She's also the literal. She's the literal second death of the game. I forgot. I think I literally commented on that at the beginning of this playthrough too, about Asogi. I was like, oh god damn it, it's Mia again. I forgot. Whoopsie. Good dough, technically. That is true. Alright. Gregson's secret. The boy was up to no good. So the reason you were inspecting Inspector Gregson? That's the wrong one! So, the reason you were investigating Inspector Gregson is because you intended to expose him as the Reaper? As I said, the Reaper of the Bailey is no single person. It's a highly secret organization with close ties to Scotland Yard. So close, in fact, that there was one inside Scotland Yard. But there is no doubt that Gregson was a key member of that organization. I don't believe it.
Are you saying that that he was behind all those awful criminals meeting there?
Not just him. I assume he was just doing the grunt work. Gregson didn't do the dirty work himself.
Oh.
He was the tactician. His job was to covertly investigate the marks and plot their assassinations. In order to do that without arousing suspicion, he regularly needed a firm alibi. Which is where Mr. Vigil came in, posing as the inspector. Vigil knows nothing of the Reaper, but the room he rents on Fresno Street was almost certainly the headquarters of the operation. Gregson would have met the assassin there for briefings. Whoa! Okay. So we don't actually know who carried out the killings then. Actually, I do have a name. Uh-oh. You... what? Well, if you can name the man, you have the true identity of the Reaper already then. Or, if I can name the woman... oh. Me when I want to talk more about Gregson but can't. I just wish he didn't die, man. True! Man, Gregson was so fun! And I was really glad to see that he kind of unofficially adopted Gina. I love Gina too! I'm glad nothing bad has happened to her yet. But, man, he was funny. He had a lot of good character dynamics between a lot of the characters. And now he's gone! She's a young woman by the name of Asa Shin. Wait, what? Shin? Oh, that lady! Miss Asa Shin. Oh, it's been a while. Hello there! It's been like... we haven't seen you since the beginning of both of these parts! Oh my god, assassin! That is just assassin. I love how he cares so much for Gina. Yeah, basically! I never had a chance to steal his endless bag of fish and chips. Revive him for 15 minutes at least. True! The true name of a terrifying killer I know only too well. She came to Japan posing as a visiting student and murdered Dr. John H. Wilson. Then, just when it seemed that that diplomatic protection would help her escape Japan and conviction, she was murked herself. In her ridiculous getup and all. The mysterious woman was herself murdered in a small summer beach hut. And that woman was actually the Reaper of the Bailey? I somehow find that hard to believe. Mr. Naruhodo, this perhaps isn't the place to discuss. No, of course not. You can't mention it here. The fact that she killed Dr. John H. Wilson. Because Iris doesn't know, and it's very likely that the man was her father. Oh, Iris, buddy, maybe not the best time to be investigating with us. Shin, I should let father know at once. Yes, I agree. Alright, Prosecutor Asogi, what do you have to say about my best bro? Kazuma, isn't it? Kazuma Asogi. You say he's a friend of yours. My best friend. He's the whole reason I got to come to Britain. It was all on his merits. I have nothing but respect for him. Yes, I understand that only the very best students are selected for such opportunities. And I had a fine demonstration of how sharp he is in the proceedings earlier today. He missed nothing. In fact, his flawless performance very much reminded me of his father. Oh, Genshin Asogi, the professor. It's true that the aristocracy at the time was the root of numerous grave societal problems. They were abusing their power, playing with the common mans as pawns in politics, in economics, in war. Genshin Impact, no! We do not talk of the accursed game here! I say that, but I also played Honkai, so, you know. It's a looming shadow over my portfolio of games. In many ways, Asogi was carving out a canker? Asogi was carving out a canker from society that we British couldn't deal with ourselves. I see. But that's precisely why it makes no sense. Clint Van Zieks was a noble and upstanding man. He wasn't corrupt. Why did that damn Nipponese have to go and take my brother's life? In spite of having once saved mine. Huh? Huh? He saved your life? How did that happen? Whoa, saving your life. It was 10 years ago, on a foggy night. What was to be the professor's final strike had sent a wave of panic through the capital. So Clint Van Zieks had already been killed at this point then. Yeah, more lore! Genshin and I were walking down some back streets at a late hour. Of course, at that point, I had no idea of the true nature of the man at my side. All of a sudden... Oh. Don't make a peep! You're coming with us! Oh! We were surrounded. Yeah, if you saved your life, why the hell are you racist towards Japanese people? Yeah, what's your problem? It is mostly because he killed his brother, but also, you know. All of our assailants were armed with pistols, their faces obscured by scarves. Clint was not only from a noble heritage, he was a brilliant prosecutor as well. The scum of London hated the sight of him, and they had no sympathy for his younger brother either. I'd been targeted several times already before this. Yeah, it's Van Zieks, alright! We got him! I could hear them murmuring amongst themselves. I knew they were after me. But just when I thought my time had come... If I let them kill you, Clint would never forgive me. It was Asogi's voice, just a whisper in my ear. Whoa! Yeah, he's probably just terribly confused. I feel like with all the information that they're giving us about him, just the contradicting ways that he's acting versus who he was as the professor, I feel like this is setting up a potential plot twist to where it turns out that he wasn't actually the professor and he was framed and he was killed for it. That's so he killed my brother, yet he saved me. What the hell goes on in his mind? That's the thing. I feel like because of all these I feel like because of all the things that we're learning about him, because of all the like differing because of all the differing like point of things that we've been learning about him, I feel like it's gonna turn out that he's not actually the professor and it's gonna be someone else. I just don't know who. So my theory doesn't quite have a footholding just yet. It's just more of a I'm having suspicions about Genshin being the Reaper, or not the Reaper, the professor. After that, I don't remember exactly what happened. I shall not comment on it. Thank you for not commenting on it. I am theorizing. I am just putting my things out there. Thank you for not. Genshin is the Reaper, confirmed! Yeah, he's been killing people from beyond the grave. The next thing I knew, there was silence all around. Genshin lay on the cobbled street. Blood was seeping from his left hand. He'd shielded me. Two days later, they arrested him, on suspicion of being London's most notorious mass murderer ever. The Professor. Yeah, he must be... There's thoughts culminating behind his eyes right now. How awful for you. All at once, I lost the brother I revered, and the foreign friend I held in such high regard. I'm so sorry, Lord Van Zieks. Alright. That's the end of my miserable tale. I never thought I'd recount it to anyone. Yeah, fate works in mysterious ways. Oh, thank you for the follow! Thank you for the follow. I'm glad you're enjoying enough to do so. Well, thank you for confiding in me. The Professor, the Reaper, and Inspector Gregson. I wonder just how intimately related they all are. I still can't quite believe that Gregson was essentially the Reaper, giving assassination orders to Josiel Brett. Mr. Naruhodo, let's go and inform my father. I'm sure our government will want to hear about this new information.
Oh, that means I get to meet your daddy, Susie.
Hooray! Maybe not hooray, Iris! Iris, we're in the middle of a murder investigation! Maybe not hooray! Why am I drama dumping to Japanese? Yeah, sometimes life works in mysterious ways. Yes, alright. Let's head back to the Great Waterloo Hotel then. Alright, bye-bye Van Zieks. Thank you for airing it all out. I'm going to walk away. The implication that he trusts Ryunosuke, Susato, Iris more than anyone else in this country because he has never talked to anyone about it until anyone else until now. Oh, exactly. There are friendships to be forged in the art of combat, even if that combat is specifically just words. Now, I am enjoying that. They're showing that God, Ace Attorney has good writing. They're showing that he's developing more of a trust towards even with all of his grievances against just Japanese people in general. He's earned respect. He has respect for Ryunosuke and Susato enough for him to be giving this information to him, even if he's not just outright saying it. Man, that's the power of show don't tell. All right. Okay, we do have to go to a certain Mr. Mikotoba. The Great Waterloo Hotel. I thought it yesterday and I think it again today. This place is so princely. It's a wild guess, but I have a feeling you'll think the same tomorrow too.
My tea has a finer fragrance than whatever they're serving in the tea room here, though, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, Iris is a young genius. Ah, look who we have here! This is a pleasant, unexpected pleasure. Who's this? Oh, okay. I had to assume so.
Ah, father! Ooh, is this your daddy, Susie? How lovely!
What a charming young lady. And you are? Something about the name being Waterloo is just so goofy to me. There are a lot of old places that are called Waterloo. None that I could name off of the top of my head, but Waterloo has a very ye olde time name to it, you know? Or ye olde vibe to it. Really? So you're the author of The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, are you? Who are you?
That's me, Iris Wilson, at your service, sir. Susie's been such a wonderful friend to me over the last year, you know?
Well, Miss Wilson, I must say that I read your work regularly and with much interest.
Iris, actually,
Lives with Mr. Sholmes, you know, Father? Is that so? Well, perhaps that goes some way to explaining that bright look in your eyes. Yeah, it's impossible to live with that whimsy when Mr. Sholmes is all whimsy. I watch a group play Ace Attorney weekly. In TGAAC, we had a bit that Mikotoba is everyone's father but refuses to acknowledge Susato as its own daughter. It was funny. I have to imagine. Just, hello there. You're the daughter I didn't know I had! And then Susato is just like, Father, what about me? You wouldn't be smiling so airily if you knew just how bright she is, believe me. Now then, young Naruhodo. It was a pleasure seeing you in action earlier. Oh yeah, you were in the stands, weren't you? As an invitee? I feel like every chapter I learn a new word from the English language. We repeatedly had a "you're the blank I never had" line. How did you guess that so accurately? Sid. Sometimes I can intuit bits, and sometimes it's just like my brain doesn't quite work. I feel like that setup is quite an easy one to figure out. As an invitee of the symposium, I was allowed to observe from the gallery. After I twisted some arms, I hope not literally. And I must say, it was truly an exemplary And I must say, it was a truly exemplary performance. Oh, well, thank you very much. Although I'm fairly sure you omitted by Kazuma on the end there. Why is nobody giving my boy Ryunosuke the props? My boy did, granted I was doing all the work, but my boy did so well. And everyone's just like, man, Kazuma's doing so well. Kazuma's so great. Oh, did you forget about me? You sent me here! No, please don't misunderstand. It was you who impressed me, oh thank God. Really? You didn't miss a step against Asogi. Kazuma is the favorite kid, yeah! I mean, we all know how capable he is. Like, he's basically saying, well, I looked at Asogi first, but you managed to catch my attention. Really, to have matured into such a fine defense lawyer in less than a year is quite extraordinary. It's very kind of you to say so. Thanks, Dad. Isn't Kazuma also technically his kid too? Cause if I remember correctly, isn't his mom dead? And obviously Genshin is dead, so isn't he being raised by the Mikotoba family right now? He really is the favorite kid! And really nice to hear. What I saw in court today confirmed what I'd been hoping for. Yeah, he's basically unofficially Mikotoba's son? What gives? Sorry, I just had to drink a bit of water. Kazuma, you're like the son I never had. He is your son, basically. This man is out here adopting people left and right. We really haven't heard anything about Naruhodo's parents. Maybe he's also Mikotoba's actual kid. What I saw in court today confirmed what I'd been hoping for. The favor I mentioned yesterday, Naruhodo? I trust you haven't forgotten. You're gonna have to repeat it for the audience here. Oh, no, you did mention something, didn't you?
But first, we have something to report, Father.
No, please tell me what the favor was. I forgot. I forgot. I'm sorry, it was 10 days ago. I do not remember. Of course, of course. Shall we take tea while we discuss matters further? I wonder where Judge Jugoku has got to. Okay, yeah, let's talk to you about the Reaper. Oh, also Judge Jugoku. Father, do you know about the so-called Reaper of the Bailey? I've heard rumors. Some members of the judiciary explained it all to me yesterday. Of course, when I was a visiting student here in London, the Reaper was yet to emerge. Right. He didn't appear until after that case when the visiting students had already returned home. Lord Van Zieks was in the dock today. That was Barak, the younger brother of Clint Van Zieks, I believe. Yeah, it sure was! That's right. And he's known throughout London as the Reaper, as you've heard. But the truth is, it wasn't him behind all those mysterious deaths. It was somebody else. Susato, should you be telling this to someone? I know you were like, hey, we should really tell Professor Mikotoba about this, but should you really be telling this information to someone unrelated to the case? I see. So what you're saying is, there's been a professional killer at work here. Exactly. Someone by the name of Asa Shin, in fact. I beg your pardon? Did you say Asa Shin? You mean that Giselle Brett woman who was responsible for killing my great friend?
Oh no! A friend of yours was killed?
Oh, Iris, cover your ears! Whoa, uh-oh! Professor Mikotoba, I think perhaps we shouldn't discuss this right now. Oh, he caught on! Oh shit! Because the friend the professor is talking about is Dr. John H. Wilson. That's not something we want Iris to find out about. Not like this, anyway. Okay, Dr. Wilson. Oh, you just said, hey, we shouldn't talk about this in front of Iris. Let's talk about it in front of Iris real quick.
Ah, I just remembered something. Biscuits.
This hotel has the most delicious looking biscuits. That was rather out of the blue. Oh, she's doing this deliberately. Yeah, she's drawing Iris away. He's the Omnifather. He knows when to not talk about dead dads. True. I'm surprised you caught on that fast.
I think I'll go and see if I can purchase some. I wonder, would you like to come too, Iris? Oh, yes! You just try to leave me behind.
Oh, off they go. Thank God, Susato. So that young girl. Yeah, caught on very quickly. Is called Iris Wilson, is she? Yes, that's right. And she's the author of all those adventure stories starring the great Detective Sholmes? But the name of the credited author isn't Iris, is it? It's Dr. John H. Wilson. Yes, I know. That's the name of her father, you see. Her father? Dr. John H. Wilson. I was deeply indebted to the man for all the kindness he showed me during my time in London. That's why I was keen to reciprocate and invite him to the Imperial Yume University 4 years ago. But he was murdered last year, by Giselle Brett. Why? Why would the hand of the Reaper stretch all the way to Japan? I wonder, is there a reason why I don't know. I doubt they... I was going to say that I doubt that they'd go all the way back to the first case of the game. Technically a series. Because this is 2 different games. But also then again, this is Ace Attorney. So I really shouldn't be expecting I shouldn't be expecting anything. He was murdered by an assassin. No way. Me when I'm an Ace Attorney character, my name is like Knife Shank or something. Iris knows nothing about that case, but it seems very likely that the victim, Dr. Wilson, was her father. Yeah, we don't want to talk about it. Well, I can't say that we ever spoke about his family, so I don't know if he had a daughter or not. But I think I can say with some certainty that he was never the great detective's partner. So, it could have been another Dr. Wilson, you think? Oh, that was so animated! Well, John and Wilson are both common names after all. Still, it's probably best not to mention this to the young lady until we can be sure. That's what we thought, yes.
We're back! With cinnamon biscuits!
Oh, they smell delicious, Iris!
I think cinnamon will go very well with the tea they serve here. Don't you, Susie? Yes, I'm sure you're right, Iris.
Alright, that's it about that. Alright, Judge Jigoku! Yeah, where is he at? I haven't seen Judge Jigoku for a while. Have you? There he is! Yeah, he's funny, I was gonna say funny little guy, but he's not a little guy at all. Funny big guy. That guilty is still ringing in my ears. No, now that you mention it, I haven't seen him since this morning either. I suppose since the symposium's opening was postponed, he'll have gone to explore at the Great Exhibition. You are so funny, reminding me of the time you almost got me executed. Well, to be fair, they didn't know that it wasn't him. That reminds me of something you mentioned yesterday. About Judge Jigoku having once been in the dock himself. Ah, yes. It was all tied up with that accursed trial. Oh! The close trial of Kazuma's father. Seishiro was trying to mitigate Genshin's guilt, so he took the stand to testify. But he got a little carried away and, actually managed to break the witness stand. Oh my! He also said some contemptuous words about the British Empire, for which he was charged. Oh! Oh dear. Or did they? Dun! Dun dun! Oh, I love it when video essays pull out the, but wait a minute, there's more. Foreshadowing is a literary device. Oh dear. Although it's worryingly easy to imagine him doing that. Well, it was all right in the end. He was acquitted and returned home to Japan together. Thank goodness! Ah yes, talking of Seishiro, I have a copy of the photograph we all took together here yesterday. Please. Oh, look at all of us! Oh, what a lovely picture! It certainly seems to shout, "We've arrived in Britain!" This was entered into the court record, huh? Uh-oh! I have a... This is not a good look for Jigoku here, who is missing right now. Yeah, such a great photo. Wait, why do we need to show this to the court? I wonder why it's in the court record. None of us had any idea what's coming when we took that, did we? No, that's so true. Alright, the favor. Ah yes, please remind me. I totally remember what we needed to do. So, you mentioned a favor that you'd like to ask me. Well, this fateful trial that you're fighting. One way or another, it will be over before long. And when it is, I'd like you to accompany me back to Japan. Oh shit! You want me to do...
What?
Father! What's the meaning of this? Now, Susato, you should understand. You've seen how our courts work firsthand. Japan's judicial system is in its infancy, especially when it comes to defense. Oh, you mean... Oh! He wants Ryunosuke's help to reform the justice system back in Japan. The Supreme Court of Oh god. The Supreme Court of Judicature is in desperate need of a good defense lawyer. As soon as possible. Really quite urgently, in fact. Uh-oh. But I've not been in London a year yet. I've read all of Susato's reports. I'm well aware of your extraordinary talents. And having seen you in action with my own eyes earlier today, there's no question. You, Naruhodo, are precisely the man our country needs. Yo!
So, you'd be leaving then, Runo?
But then, what am I supposed to do, Father? I have to assume you'd be coming with, because you're my assistant. You came here to serve as Asogi's judicial assistant. Oh yes, she's supposed to be Kazuma's assistant. Our government is still in the process of deciding how best to deal with his situation, though. You've always chosen your own path, Susato. And I trust your judgment. In this matter, also. Wait, so with Inosuke, he was like, you're coming home right now to reform the judiciary system with me. And then to his own daughter, he's like, you can do whatever. I know it's not literally like that, but I don't know. No, he is basically saying she is free to do what she wishes. Please continue to be my assistant. Please, Susato. Please. Father! Please, the pair of you, don't look so downcast. It's merely a suggestion. It doesn't sound like a suggestion. You basically said, hey, you're coming back to Japan with me now! It's merely a suggestion, you understand. A hope, if I'm honest, but I won't force you. All I ask is that you consider it, and come to a decision by the time this trial concludes. Yeah, in his eyes, she just exists as a random human being. Well, to be fair, at this point in time, women weren't allowed to do a whole lot. Yes, alright.
You won't leave, will you, Runo?
Oh, Iris, I'm so sorry! The thought hadn't even crossed my mind. Up until now, I've just been trying to do what I believe to be Kazuma's will. But it turns out that he's still alive, so... where does that leave me? Oh. Well, if you'll excuse me now, I need to telegram government ministers and the Japanese police with this information about Asashin. Of course, Father. Thank you. Oh, I forgot that he does have government ties. That is true. I really did think that he was just a professor at a prolific university. No, he has governmental ties. He is here on behalf of the government. I look forward to next month's installment, Miss Wilson.
Oh, good! And please do come to Baker Street sometime, won't you? We'd love to entertain you!
I would be delighted. The best of luck for tomorrow, Naruhodo. And... give my suggestion your full consideration, won't you? He came with the Supreme Judge, how do you forgore? Listen, it's been, let me check my watch. It's been, 3 weeks since we started this chapter? I want to say 4. I forgore a bit. That's why I usually what I try to do in between streams, cause Ace Attorney is currently on a every other week schedule, flip-flopping between Okami and Ace Attorney Chronicles, and then once I finish one of those games, I'm gonna swap it out with another big game. So it's been a hot minute since we've seen the beginning of this chapter. Usually what I try to do is refresh my mind with the court record, but I didn't do that this stream yet. Whoops. I will say Okami is currently on a break because there's some stuff I gotta do. There's some stuff I want to do off stream for it for a little bit. I gotta do a little bit of collection cleanup. So yeah, Okami will be back once I collect all the stuff that I need. And I feel like that would be not as entertaining for stream to watch. So some of it will be on stream. What's this Okami thing? So it's an old game that got a Steam port. Okami 2 got announced at the Game Awards, and I was like, oh shit, I need to replay Okami. Because I played it back when I was in elementary school on the PS2, so I have next to no other memories of it. So I was like, and one of my close college friends absolutely likes Okami, and I made a deal with him that I'd play Okami in my adult years, and I am now fulfilling that promise. So you play as a wolf god, Amaterasu, cleansing the world of evil, basically. And you have brush techniques and stuff, and you draw, and it's cool. It's a fun game. It's a dungeon crawler. It's also a dungeon crawler. It's fun. And I would actually recommend. It's a good game. But yeah, Ace Attorney and Okami are on a every other week schedule. Because I try to play a different game every day I stream. It's just so that I don't get sick of it, I guess. Adds a bit of variety. So we are rotating between Okami and not Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. So you play as the imposter among us? What does that mean? What? Wait, what? Wait, what did I say? What did I say that prompted that? I genuinely don't remember. Yes, I will. Going back home? Yeah, because you've been in Britain for a good long while. You know, Kazuma-sama has always meant a great deal to my father. This is really not helping the everyone is Mikotoba's child except for Susato case here. Oh, werewolf killing made my stupid brain think of Among Us. Don't mind it. Oh, okay. No. You're not killing werewolves in Okami. You're killing evil spirits because it takes place in Japan. Don't worry about it. I'm sure he'd love the chance to meet with him and talk to him about all of this. Yes, no doubt. Huh? Asashin? Of course, it's so obvious. Huh? Oh, hi Sholmes. What are you doing here? How could I have neglected to consider the possibility before now? Ah, Mr. Sholmes!
Really? Where have you been?
Why, I joined you all for tea, of course. What an extraordinary question. And you didn't say anything? I didn't notice you at all. No matter, no matter. Anyway, to more pressing concerns. Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, yes? I must dispatch a telegram to your country at once. It's a matter of much urgency. To Japan, you mean? Tell me, to whom can I entrust the task? Quickly now, who?
Ah, well...
My father has just now left to send a telegram to the Imperial Police Bureau of Japan himself. Oh, I see. Well, you look reliable enough for a bearded fellow. I don't think what father sports could be considered a beard, Mr. Sholmes. Yeah, he has a funny little mustache. There's not a moment to lose. Kindly ask your trusty unshaven father to see this is sent. Huh? I will, but what is it? No questions at this time, if you please, Mrs. Otto. All we can do is pray that for once, my deduction is awry. Uh-oh. Doesn't that imply your deductions are normally correct, Mr. Sholmes? Which isn't exactly... Now then! You may be surprised to learn that I am a very busy man. I certainly have no time to hide behind settees and eavesdrop on other people's conversations. So that's what joining us for tea meant. Oh, he's serious. I leave the sending of this in your hands then, my dear fellows. Oh, off he goes. Yeah, he's on serious mode. He has no whimsy. His usual whimsy has left to the void. Wait, Mr. Sholmes.
He just sort of ran off, didn't he? At quite a pace.
And he left an unpaid bill for his tea behind, too. Yeah, he's got rent to pay.
I must catch up with Father at the telegraph office at once. And I'll run and call us a cab. Straight away!
Oh, off they go! And there was me thinking everyone would be clamoring to pay Mr. Sholmes' bill. Oh no! Oh, I'm moving by myself. We talked to Van Zeeks already. I don't think we need to go here. I guess we do just go to Mr. Vigil's hospital bed. 2nd November, St. Sinners Hospital, Ward 3.
This is the ward where Mr. Vigil was brought, apparently.
To be frank, I'm a little worried about seeing him again.
Oh, hi!
Ah, the lawyer. Hello again.
Are you feeling better now, Mr. Vigil?
Yes, thank you. Somewhat better. Look at this guy. I'm so sorry to have caused you to... I mean, it was because of me. If I hadn't exposed your secret and forced you to remember things you obviously tried to forget. Oh, the prosecutor was here until a few moments ago, too. You dismissed him. Oh, Kazuma beat us to it. He said much the same as you. He was very apologetic. But the truth is, I brought all of this upon myself. Please, don't think like that. I really do like this guy's animations. He's so fluid. A lot of the characters are like this. I do really like how the animations are here. Keeping it from Evie, my wife, all these years, I've carried such a sense of guilt. But that's not the worst of it. Ooh. Over time, I obviously came to deceive myself as well.
You mean about your dismissal?
Looking back now, I'm beginning to think that perhaps Inspector Gregson didn't stumble across me by accident at all. Yeah, poor Vigil. I mean, he compensated me so generously for acting as a stand-in. Oh, it was on purpose. He was clearly concerned for my well-being and doing what he could to help. So perhaps Gregson knew exactly what had become of Mr. Vigil all along then. I'm sure this is just desserts for 10 years of lies and deception, but... Oh, poor guy! It wasn't me that helped the professor escape 10 years ago! It wasn't me! I swear it! I swear it's true! The poor guy! Oh, Mr. Vigil! I'm sure you'd rather not dredge up even more from your past at this time, but... if possible, could you tell us exactly what really happened? I want to. I need to get all this off my chest. I just want someone to tell me what I should have done. Oh, poor guy. Alright, let's talk to you. Gregson's request. Inspector Gregson was obviously engaged in a special operation of some sort. He was investigating something that even Scotland Yard couldn't know about. Details of the Reaper's marks, yes. And now we know that that he was part of the Reaper's schemes. Without Vigil, we'd be cooked. Oh, absolutely. It was when he had to carry out those investigations that I would take his identification and impersonate him. You'd pretend to be the inspector and carry out investigations on his behalf? Oh no, never! A common street peddler couldn't possibly carry out a proper police investigation. All I would do is go to the specified location and make a little hoo-ha. Like a little commotion then. Just make yourself known. Just something to leave an impression, so everyone there would think a detective called Gregson was here. Yeah, just to create without a reasonable doubt that Gregson was indeed somewhere else. So, that's what you were doing on the day prior to the incident. Yes. He asked me to make an appearance at the park on Lime Street for the Red-Headed League event. So as usual, I flashed the inspector's identification around and was very vocal about my presence.
But then you were taken prisoner by those red-headed fraudsters.
Yes. So, you would always make a point of showing Gregson's identification, generally being loud. That's what the inspector asked me to do, yes.
Well, that's one way of becoming a legendary detective, I suppose. Not a good one, though.
And as you know, I suffered this bruising around my neck at their hands. Sorry about that, I just got asked something really quickly. But the following day, they kept their word and released me. Without returning the inspector's identification to you, however. We had arranged to meet in the Fresno Street room at 5 that day so I could report back to the inspector. But at the agreed time, that's when I heard the gunshot. Ooh, the prison escape. Yeah, we gotta ask! It was at midnight on 17th June 10 years ago. That was the time scheduled for the execution. But the professor's execution never actually took place, did it? Or rather, the execution itself must have been used to affect the plans of must have been used to affect the plan of escape. Sorry, that was an odd sentence. I hardly dare to imagine what a chilling plan it was. Barclay was renowned for being the high-security prison in the country. Everything that went in or out of the place was searched multiple times. But there was one notable exception. Or rather, one notable loophole. Something that was never questioned. Oh! I have a feeling I know what that loophole was now. The coffins into which the bodies of the executed convicts were placed, correct? Yes. Once the coroner had confirmed the death of a condemned convict, the body was taken in its coffin for immediate burial in Lowgate Cemetery, just behind the prison. The chief warder first had to sign the necessary papers. And after that, no member of staff was permitted to touch the coffin containing the body again. Oh, okay, so that's the big reason why he's being scrutinized here. It's because no one else is allowed to make this process happen. When executions took place, only the executioner and the coroner were permitted inside the chamber. I would wait in the adjacent room for word that the condemned convict was dead. On that occasion, once I had that confirmation, I went into the mortuary to find a lone coffin, as usual. The procedure was that I would sign the paperwork having checked the coffin, then nail it shut. But for some reason that day, the coffin was already nailed shut. Oh! Oh! It was already tampered! No! I didn't think anything of it at the time. I assumed that my deputy must have checked the coffin and nailed it shut before I arrived. So, you mean, the coffin contained... Yes. I can only imagine that Asogi, having escaped his execution somehow, was alive inside the coffin. The coffin was then taken out through the main gates and deposited in Lowgate Cemetery. Presumably there wouldn't have been enough air inside to breathe for long. So in the early hours following the burial, somebody dug up the coffin again to set Genshin free. But in the end, shot dead right then and there. He was fatally shot in the graveyard anyway. What on earth really happened in Lowgate Cemetery that night, I wonder? Well, if it weren't for Drebber, we wouldn't have known this happened at all. It's the little pieces. The little pieces keep showing up in all the places. I'm afraid I really don't know. All I can say with certainty are two things. Asogi couldn't possibly have escaped that way without help from somebody working in the prison. And that somebody was not me. I wonder what I know the pun in his name is Daily Vigil, but I have to wonder what that has to do with the prison. The convict Asogi. Obviously, you knew the man then. The professor, I mean. Genshin Asogi. Yes, I remember him well, in fact. Would you mind telling us what you know? Ooh. Well, having been condemned to death as he was, any contact I had with the man was short, obviously. After that trial, which was carried out behind closed doors, attended only by elite members of the judiciary, they called for his execution to be carried out at the earliest possible opportunity. The outcome of the trial was set from the beginning, wasn't it? It was a time of delicate diplomacy, when Britain and Japan were in the process of signing an important treaty. That meant that this potentially destabilizing, okay. This potentially destabilizing case had to be dealt with swiftly and discreetly. The man had less than a week in total. As I was the chief warder, I oversaw his short stay in the cells until his final hour. I remember being struck deeply by his noble character and incredible resilience. What do you mean exactly? He was a killer of many men, but he was always quiet and polite. He was a gentleman and a man of intellect. In fact, I couldn't bring myself to believe what he'd done, so I asked him one day. Oh! Oh! There's 5 members of the aristocracy whose lives were taken. Were you really responsible? I'm guilty of the unforgivable crime of ending another human's life, yes. The following day, the closed trial took place, and the verdict was no surprise. Guilty. Yep. That night, when he was brought back to his cell, I saw something unusual. Oh, unusual? Something unusual? What? The last will and testament of Genjin Asogi. He wrote a will? Asogi's will. As I said, it was on the night following his trial, after he had been found guilty. I was doing the rounds of the cells, and when I looked into Asogi's, I noticed that he seemed to have a sheet of paper in his hand. Ah, his last will and testament then, presumably. As soon as he noticed me, he hurriedly shoved it behind his back. Oh, shit! But why did you find that so unusual? Isn't it normal for a man with a pen? Or isn't it normal for a man to pen a will when he knows his death is nigh? I assume that's not common here. Yes, that's true. But there were special conditions to Asogi's incarceration, you see. What sort of conditions? Well, even though he was held in a cell designed for condemned inmates, he was allowed to keep his personal effects with him. With one exception. Oh, he's allowed his things? That is unusual, certainly. Of course, he'd been convicted of killing 5 members of the aristocracy. But at the same time, he was a guest in our country from the Empire of Japan. The powers that be were determined that his final days shouldn't be needlessly uncomfortable. Huh. And what was the exception you mentioned to the personal effects he was allowed? I assume his katana. That's the point. Oh! That's the point. He wasn't permitted to have writing utensils. Specifically, no pens or paper. Huh! So, he was prevented from leaving any written record of what happened to him. Yes, that was the long and short of it. I've no idea where he obtained that paper. Any writing materials would have been confiscated from him upon his incarceration. As I said, he hid the paper behind his back, and then he pleaded with me. Why did you just hide behind your back? Please, please turn a blind eye. This is my lifeline. But you know it's against the rules. You're the only person who's seen, if you just agree to keep quiet. Alright then. Well, what's on that paper? A last will and testament. This will is the only weapon I have left now. Oh! A weapon? What were you planning? How can a will be a weapon? So I decided to pretend I'd seen nothing, and I let him keep his will. But then later, it just seemed to vanish without trace. What? What do you mean it vanished? Someone took it then. It would seem that That isn't the end of the story of this mysterious will. The will's disappearance! I was the only person who saw Asogi's will, but somehow it disappeared. It was after Asogi's execution.
Which was actually an elaborate jailbreak.
The warders gathered up Asogi's possessions that were in his cell. They were all to be sent back to his family home in Japan, you see. The poor Kazuma-sama. And you're saying that it wasn't anywhere to be found among his personal effects? The will, I mean. So someone took it. That's right, though I didn't search through them myself. But Governor Kaiden was livid. He was screaming, "It couldn't have disappeared completely?" That doesn't quite make sense though, does it? Yeah, so how did he know? In what way? Well, we'd understood that only Mr. Vigil was aware of the will's existence. In which case, how did the prison governor know to look for it? Oh, yes, you're right. Yeah, how did he know? I really don't know how he knew. But it certainly seemed as though he knew of the will's existence from the outset. Only he didn't refer to it as a will. What he said was... the Asogi Papers. The Asogi Papers is ominous as all hell! The Asogi Papers? I really can't tell you anything of the subsequent events. Because, well, of what happened. Your dismissal, and the way you blocked it all from your memory. I've forgotten all this until today. I don't suppose it's relevant to the case, though. Well, anyway, thank you very much for sharing it with us, Mr. Vigil. We're very grateful. Yeah, this is information that we need to have. Okay. I'm afraid there's really little more I can tell you. My wife Evie will be here shortly, so I do hope I don't appear rude, but... he wants his alone time with his wife. No, not at all. Thank you again. But what will become of you now? Well, impersonating a police officer is a criminal offense, of course. I imagine that once I'm fully recovered, I shall be arrested. Oh, I'm so sorry. Don't be, please. This is all my own doing. I always knew that this day would come. Oh, well, I wish you well. Goodbye, Mr. Vigil. Poor guy. Oh, oh! Before you go, there's one, just one thing. Oh, yes? What is it? The Asogi Papers. Oh? I'd be very grateful if you would make no mention of the things I told you about them. Presumably for some good reason. Oh! It's my understanding that their very existence is a closely guarded secret. If it became known that I'd remembered... well... it could be rather troublesome, I think. Oh! I understand. Some sort of will that Genshin Asogi penned just before his death, which the man himself claimed was his last weapon. I wonder... perhaps it had something to do with his plan to escape. Whoa! If there's anyone who might know more about a document that Kazuma's father left behind...
It would be Mr. Vigil's governor!
Then we know precisely where we must go! Back to Barclay Prison! Oh, we're being sent on a wild goose chase! Oh, look at the guy! Look at him! Look at him chilling over there. Hi, buddy! Well, at least he seems to be on the mend. You know, his disguise as Mr. Gossip was really quite masterful, wasn't it? Excuse me. I can't remember anything about it except for the floppy lip. I imagine not even his wife had recognized him. Perhaps, but he did really have to take it quite... but did he really have to take it quite so far? Probably didn't want to be recognized. Do I still have Mr. Gossip in the court record, or did he get overwritten? No, he's right here. Yeah, you wouldn't have known. Gossip, question mark, question mark, question mark.
Whew, sorry. Just take a sip of water after all that reading. Alright, let's go to the prison. Oops. Oh, no, no, the other prison. Hi, Vanzik, sorry, we're not supposed to be here. Whoopsie. Alright. Oh. Oh. Back again, are you? Yes. Hello. I've heard all about your investigations. I read the report just now. You found him, eh? Vigil. Yes, luckily. Well, and you? The laddie done any work here no more? So your case has no what to do with Barclay. I wouldn't like you to get the wrong idea about that. Of course, yes. Mr. Vigil stopped working here 10 years ago now, so...
Yes, we've seen his dismissal notice, haven't we? He was given the chop.
Hey, come here. You can very well. So how about a wee handcuff biscuit?
Oh, they really are like little handcuffs. And as hard as irons, too. Aw.
So, what's brought you down here today? Well, there's something else we'd like to ask you about, actually. Is that so? We believe there may have been a document that disappeared from Genshin Asogi's cell. I think it's been called the Asogi Papers or something. We're just straight up talking to him about this? We're just straight up asking him? Didn't I say Gregson's death is nowhere to do with things that might have happened at Barclay? Leave the past in the past, laddie. Let's not fool or boot with ever irrelevant details. His expression changed completely. We're clearly onto something here. Okay, let's talk to him. Let's talk to him. 10-year-old legacy. The murderer's botched execution and the whole miserable escape. They were Barclay's darkest hour, aye. A shocking embarrassment. Because the convict had a collaborator on the prison staff, you mean? Aye. For shame. The coroner who confirmed the death of the man after his execution, Cordy Sith, and my chief warder at the time, Vigil, who was in charge of the whole affair.
But Mr. Vigil says he didn't know anything about it.
The rascal wouldn't they say otherwise, eh? More handcuffs?
Oh, how could I say no? You can never have too much iron in your
Diet? Well, you're not wrong, Iris. But Mr. Vigil has handed his dismissal notice as a result of what happened. He was so despairing. He jumped out of your office window, didn't he? I don't like to say, but that's just Vigil trying to get out of it. Do you think he wouldn't jump from the shock of his crimes being exposed, eh? I do. You wouldn't say otherwise, though, would you? Of course, I can shun all responsibility myself. I shouldn't let him deceive me. Actually, there's barely anybody that can what went on at the time now. With Gregson having been murdered and Dr. Sith forbidden from having any visitors. Oh, no visitors! Someone obviously doesn't want her giving anything away.
Well, we're not going home empty-handed.
And I wouldn't dream of sending you packing with it. Now, come here. Take a handcuff or two. He's got a handful of these just for her.
Oh, well, it would be rude to say no. Wouldn't want to become anemic.
I suppose if there's anybody who might still can boot what happened back then, it'd be that last from the forensic division, Maria Gori. Maria Gori? Maria Gori? Well, Gori obviously because she's doing... Aye, Sith's daughter. Shouldn't they have no more? Just the one. She has a daughter? The wee barons followed in her mom's footsteps. You didn't ever see her without a scalpel in her hand. Ah!
Oh, it was her! It was this creature!
Mama, what's this?
Ugh! Where did she spring from? And did she just call her the Dr. Mama? I don't remember about the Mama part, though. Dr. Seth's daughter, Maria Gori. We could do with talking to her. Oh, Gori. So, she's Dr. Sith's daughter, but her surname is Gori? Aye. There's some family history, I'm sure, but I dunno the ins and outs of it. She grew up watching her mom work with the bodies of folk who died in strange circumstances, and decided to do the same thing with her own life. I can understand it myself.
Perhaps she was driven by a deep respect for her mother.
Perhaps. Anywho, she was in charge of Gregson's autopsy, I believe.
Right.
And the coroner responsible for this incomplete report. Someone told me once that the wee lassie always loved her mom's stories about cutting up bodies. There's even a rumor that she used to listen to the funeral march as a lullaby. Huh!
Well, then perhaps her mother might have told her about the autopsy from the case 10 years ago.
Aye. I'd say there's a fighting chance, at least. After all, that was a life-changing case for all of us. We really need to speak to Miss Gori herself about this then, I think. Well, thank you very much. I'm no happy about any part of this. It took years for Londoners to finally forget the whole professor business. Oh yeah, and we're dragging it back up again! Can you no give up on this, laddie? Stop asking pointless questions. I'm sorry. I don't like dredging up these painful memories for everyone. Can you no just stay away, no? Leave me alone and then come back here, huh? Okay. The Asogi papers. How'd you come to about that, laddie? There's no many folk here, even here in the prison, who've heard all those papers. Well, I can tell him Mr. Vigil told me.
I'm afraid our sources must remain confidential, sir.
Thank you, Susato. We've been led to believe that the papers are actually a last will and testament. Is that right? The professor's, or rather, Genshin Asogi's. Aye, that's right. You're well informed, Jimmy. Oh, is that the end of the silent treatment? But then after the convict's execution, it mysteriously vanished from his cell, didn't it? Havers, no. You're off at half-cock there. I think you didn't quite get your facts straight. Well, well, our sources have to remain confidential here. It was there in the cell, exactly where it should have been. Oh, not what we heard, it's elsewhere. Oh, he's out grabbing it! Let me just have a wee look around here. I'm sure I can find it. Aye, here ye are. See? Oh! The last will and testament of Genshin Asogi. Written in with a calligraphy brush. Of course, I can never read a word of those Japanese squiggles. But I mind it says he leaves all his worldly possessions to his son back in his homeland.
Yes, that's correct. That's the gist of it.
So these are the Asogi papers. Aye, of course they are. Papers written by Asogi. Nay doubt about it. There's no mystery here, laddie. That's her lot. After all the stramishal that's what? After all the stramishal that slazier of an execution, we sent the man's possessions back to his clan in Japan, and that was the end of it.
I think we have to make a record of this, Mr. Nodohodo, just in case.
Oh! Uh-oh! The Asogi papers, huh? Alright, gimme. Let me look at these. I, Genshin Asogi, hereby request that upon my death, any and all material possessions, and both belonging to me in London, be delivered to my son Kazuma Oshogi in the Empire of Japan. It is with deep sadness that I accept my fate in this foreign land, with the knowledge that I will never see my homeland or my family again, but I regret nothing about my chosen path. Ooh. The only weapon that he has left. One thing before you go on your way, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, yes? Those papers are no what to do with Gregson's death. I prefer it if you deny make no mention of them outside of this office. Or rather, I would not just prefer it. Consider it an order from the highest levels of our government. Oh shit.
I understand. Well, they're in the court record, so we're gonna have to use them. Alright, where do we go to talk to... I guess... Where do we go to talk to Maria Gori? 2nd November, Prosecutor's Office. Oh, he's got a little diorama. So, this is the office of Professor Osogi now, is it? Hello, Quim! Hope you're doing all good. Welcome, welcome.
Kazuma-sama is doing so well for himself.
This is Zeke's office. Hello?
Even though he's always forced to kneel on the floor, Japanese style, in that dark corner?
Is his habit to sit Seiza style whenever he's working?
I'm doing okay. How's you? I'm doing good. I went out to eat for lunch ? Today, and then I just kind of lazed around until stream here. So the usual stuff. I gotta remember to buy a new phone charger after stream. I will hopefully remember. Hopefully. But good to hear you're doing okay as well. Oh, there he is. Kazuma. Doom. I thought it wouldn't be long before you paid me a visit, Ryunosuke. Oh, that's his theme, isn't it? I heard the beginning bit of it, and I was like, huh, isn't this Kazuma's theme? I was right about what I said, wasn't I? Sorry? That you have all the makings of a great defense lawyer. Oh, look at him! It's been so long! Well, I always believed that you'd fulfill your dream of advocating in the British courts. I just never imagined for 1 second that it would be as a prosecutor. Oh, seeing you stand in a foreign courtroom, so gallantly realizing your dream, Kazuma-sama. Oh, there it is. I'm truly happy for you. And I am truly thankful to you, Judicial Assistant Mikotoba. It's taken on a more imposing, foreboding tone. Ryunosuke, I always thought it would be fun for you and I to shake up the British legal system a little together. This isn't quite how I envisioned it, but I suppose it's just another twist of fate. I've learned a lot of things during my time in London. About how Susato-san's father was himself a visiting student here once, along with Judge Jigoku. And about what happened with your father. Then you'll have no difficulty understanding why I had no choice. Why I had to find a way to get to Britain as a visiting student myself. Yeah, he had to find out what happened. I want to hear from you, Kazuma. As you wish, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Oh, full name! Alright, let's converse. Your disappearance. It's getting on for a year now, since what happened on the SS Bureau. Yeah, when we thought he was dead. We were heading across the oceans from Japan to Great Britain. When a bizarre series of coincidences led to those tragic events. I thought I'd lost my best friend forever. I must have been unconscious for a long time. When I awoke, I was lying on a bed. It was a narrow little room. There was a posy of flowers by the pillow. It took me a little while to realize that I was in the cabin of a ship. I slipped out of the room and headed up onto the deck. Were you already suffering from amnesia at that point? Oh, he was already wiped out by that point, huh? Yes, I didn't know what had happened or where I was. There was just this voice in my head. You have something to do. Something no one else can know about. Whoa! Go to Great Britain. Your task awaits you there. Whoa! It was a calling I couldn't ignore. It compelled me relentlessly.
Out on the deck, I saw that I was on a huge steamship and we were docked at a large port.
It must have been Hong Kong!
Yes, it must have been. Presumably just before they were due to carry your body off the ship. I had no idea of the situation, but I did have the feeling that this was in some way my last chance. So I concealed myself among the disembarking passengers and went ashore. Then I disappeared into the crowded streets of that foreign port city, so I could plan my onward journey to Great Britain.
Your journey to Britain!
Just under a year ago, with all my past memories lost to me, I was left behind in Hong Kong. Everything was foreign to me. The sights, the sounds, the smells. My head reeled. I was truly at a loss. I realize now that I'd escaped as a dead man, with nothing but the clothes on my back. No money, of course.
Oh, how terrifying for you!
I can imagine. Luckily, though, I have 2 feathers in my cap. One being your knowledge of English, I suppose. That's right. And on the back of that, I was able to pick up some work as a deckhand on a cargo ship. Eventually, after calling at countless ports, I finally arrived at Dover. That must have been some 3 months ago now. So he just got here! Your formidable tenacity of purpose showing itself again. I mean, the man had lost his memory and had literally nothing to his name. But he still managed to make his way to London on the opposite side of the world. Of course, I had no idea why I'd moved heaven and earth to get here at that point. So, how did you end up becoming Lord Van Zeek's apprentice then? Yeah, how did you? That can only be called an extraordinary stroke of luck, really. You see, I was stopped at the border because I had no papers. They took me straight to Scotland Yard. And by sheer coincidence, Lord Strongheart was there to attend a meeting. That's when the second feather in my cap came to play. Would that have been your knowledge of the law?
It sure would have been!
Yes, exactly. Lord Strongheart was curious about an Easterner with intimate knowledge of British law. He took me back with him to the Supreme Court, and assigned me to the prosecutor's office. And then, 9 days ago...
You remembered!
You finally got your memory back after the trial involving Drebber. Yes, I did.
Your father, Genshin.
Ever since I met you at Yume, you talked about your dream.
Yo!
Mark my words, Ryunosuke. I'll be chosen as a visiting student and make my way to Great Britain someday. Did you know the entire time about what happened to your father here? 16 years ago.
Oh, look at them!
When my father left on that exciting trip to Great Britain, I was just a boy. We took a photograph together the day before his departure. It's my last memory of him. But what I remember most about my father is his unswerving sense of justice. 6 years after he left, a gentleman called our family home. He told me that Genshin, my father, had been taken ill in England and passed away. It was Professor Mikotoba, your father, Susato-san.
Oh! Oh, so he didn't want Osogi to know.
Oh my! Ever since then, the professor was very good to me. He'd even helped to fund my university education at Yume. I'll be forever in his debt. But nevertheless, I just couldn't bring myself to believe what he told me.
Oh.
Then one day, a letter arrived from our house from Britain. There was no indication of the sender, so I opened it, assuming it was from an old acquaintance of my father.
Oh, but it was not.
What I read in that letter changed my entire life.
What did it say?
It said that my father had been a mass murderer, and the writer cursed the Osogi name.
Oh, shit! Oh, no!
As a result of that letter, I found out what had been hidden from me all those years.
Letter from Britain? Who'd you get it from?
Presumably, the letter was sent from a relative of one of the victims. If whoever did it had been a member of the judiciary, he could have been present at the closed trial. The letter revealed that my father had been sentenced to death, executed for being a killer. I'm so sorry you had to find out that way. Yeah, shocking news, I know. I imagine the British government did its very best to silence whoever did that letter. But someone who knew the truth and couldn't bear their resentment was always going to be a problem. But still, it could have been written by anyone. Why would you believe such a thing? There was a newspaper cutting included with the letter. Oh, it was the first I'd ever heard of the professor. And his terrible killing spree. Well, what did my father have to say about the letter? I couldn't bring myself to show it to him. Yeah, I assume he didn't know. What? Why not? Because he deliberately concealed the truth from me by telling me my father was taken by a fatal illness. That couldn't have been easy for him, and he'd done it out of consideration for my feelings. So instead, I showed the letter to Judge Jigoku. To Judge Jigoku, of all people! To the other visiting student. He faltered for the briefest of moments, but then he just laughed the letter off. But in that moment, I saw it on his face. He was undeniably shocked, shaken momentarily before recovering his poise. Oh! A year later, my bereaved mother succumbed to this strain of grief, and she too passed away. That's when I made up my mind that one day, without fail, I would cross the seas to Britain and seek the truth for myself. And that's why he wanted to go. The truth about my father, Genshin Isogi. And I wouldn't let anyone stand in my way. Oh, Kazuma-sama. And then the Reaper's trial. What we learned today in court turned things completely on their head. It was an impressive piece of lawyering, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Full name! Lord Van Zieks isn't the Reaper, you know. I almost don't want to believe it myself, but it turns out that Inspector Gregson himself, the victim, was... It's clear that the Inspector was behind the Reaper's activity all along. What? You mean, you knew? Well, yeah, he's smart. He should figure it out. The real question is, who's been giving orders to the Inspector? That's what he's trying to find out, because he doesn't know that yet. Yes, Barak Van Zieks is the real Reaper. Oh no, that's what he believes. And I know that 10 years ago, it was him who decided my father must be a mass murderer and sent him to the grave. No, he was merely seeing that justice was done as the law dictates. He's not to blame. Ultimately, it's people who condemn people. The law is just a tool that they use to do it. Oh. And when a man condemns another, he must take responsibility for his actions. Of course he must. And I know for certain that my father would never have taken another man's life. Kazuma. On the contrary, my father's life was taken by the Reaper. Oh, that's it. What? I'm missing something then. I'm missing something then. What? This conversation is not over. Yeah, we have not. I have to assume I have to present something to him then. Yeah, because Susato's like, are you sure? Do I have to present the Sogi papers to him? Gregson's pocket watch. Autopsy report. Cornor Moriokori. Do I have to present these to him? Okay. Before I do that, I might leave this for another time next time. I know normally I save, ending stream for when a to be continued happens, because that's always a good place to end, but I'm feeling the effects of talking constantly on my throat. So, we'll break this up into, however many parts it'll be. I have to assume 2. But, yeah, that's all I've got for you guys tonight. I am already saved. Alright. That's gonna be it for tonight. My throat is feeling it. Thank you guys for stopping by. As always, come join the Discord server. We have fun here, I swear. If you want to see my art or other people's art, come check out the Blue Sky or the Tumblr. Twitter's completely dead. It's being eaten by a rat. And if you want to watch past streams, come look at the YouTubes. That's all I've got for you guys this week. Next week will be a whole new thing. But yeah, thank you for dropping by. Right. That's all I've got for you guys tonight. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye. Have a good night.